Hi my loves, welcome back to the second episode in my Reclaiming the Feminine series. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I wish I knew a long time ago. And by a long time ago, I specifically mean grade 4. Because grade 4 is roughly around the time that we have our first sex education class ever. In this grade, we're not learning about pleasure and how not to get pregnant and la-di-da-di-da. We are learning about our reproductive system. However, the school system kind of failed us here in Canada, or at least in my city, but I'm pretty sure this is all across North America. I myself was not taught anything about the 4 seasons or the 4 phases of my menstrual cycle, and I almost bet you didn't either. However, I did not realize how important this was until like 2 years ago. I was caught in this burnout cycle. Yes, a lot of it does also have to do with my ADHD and masking. However, I had absolutely no idea where I was in my cycle, and it didn't really matter at the time until somebody brought up to me, Miranda, you do not know what rest is. You are not operating on the same cycle that a man is. Why are you trying to work like a man? And I thought, wait, what do you mean? Well, your hormones, just like mine, are also changing on a 28-day cycle. So that means throughout our cycle, our hormones are flowing up and down, up and down. There is no such thing as a stable woman, okay? I am sorry to break it to you, but it is not something to be ashamed of. It is something that has tons of strength, because we are not supposed to perform like a man. We are supposed to honor our feminine flow and our feminine cycle. A man's hormones are the same every single day, day in and day out, until they reach a specific age or until some of them start playing with them, if you know what I mean. This video is for the ladies out there that want to get to know themselves at a deeper level, that are tired of burning out, that are tired of constantly chasing those deadlines instead of honoring our cycles. This is for the ladies who want to tune in to that feminine energy and stop living in their masculine. Yes, at the end of the day, it is your choice. If you want to operate in your masculine and you want to work like a man, go for it, boo. I'm just saying the stats don't lie. We have more women on antidepressants and anxiety medications than ever. Women are 10 times more prone to burnout than a man is. So why are we grinding our bodies down like this? Because in some ways we are still living in a man's world. But the more that we talk about what it means to be a female, how to honor our cycles, and normalize that it's okay to take rest, we will continually run in this circle. And that is not the life that I want for my future sisters out there or my existing sisters right now. So in this video, we are going to be covering our 4 different phases that we move through during our menstrual cycle. What is going on in the body, how to nourish our body, how to nourish our mind, what our superpowers are, and let's be serious, what the hell we are feeling, because it feels so damn good to be validated, especially by other women experiencing the same symptoms that we are. It makes us feel a little less crazy, shall I say. Nonetheless, let's kick it off with our first season, which is going to be winter. Winter is our time for rest and reflecting. This is a time of hibernation where we go inward. This is the menstrual phase, the first day of your period. But what exactly is happening in our body? Our estrogen is coming down, our progesterone is coming down, which signals to the body we no longer need the uterine lining. It is time to shed. Usually in our winter phase, we are feeling hella fatigued, especially in the first 2 days. However, if you are experiencing any of these symptoms to an extreme where you are bent over in agony, your periods are extremely heavy, you might have cysts or fibroids or whatever else there might be, this is your time to make a doctor's appointment, because it is not normal for your periods to be painful. I cannot stress this enough. There is most likely a hormonal imbalance happening, and there is no need to suffer. But if you do struggle with a low mood prior to your bleed, chances are it will start to clear up once your bleed has started. So how exactly should we be nourishing our body during our menstrual phase? I'm gonna be honest, there's a very common myth that floats around working out and being on your cycle. Yes, I will say it is not a good idea to do a high intensity workout when you are on your bleed. However, However, that does not mean that you shouldn't move your body at all. Doing some sort of low impact workout like walking or perhaps yoga can be really beneficial because it can actually decrease some of those symptoms like the fatigue and the cramping. But we really don't want to be doing those high intensity workouts because our body is busy using that energy to shed our lining so that we can prepare for the next phase. In our winter months, we want to make sure that everything we put into our mouth is warm. Yes, even in the summer, we want to be having warm, hot meals, soups, curries, chilies, stuff that is super nourishing. Eat lean protein and healthy fats. During this time, we do tend to be a little bit more sensitive and a lot more withdrawn. Like I said, use this time to rest, rejuvenate, and reflect. Cancel those plans, tune into your body, what it wants, what it needs. This is an amazing time for pampering yourself. Take that hot bath, read a nice book, sit down, cuddle in your bed, watch that Netflix. And if a bath isn't your vibe, try a heating pad. It can feel so good on those sore muscles or those cramps, or it could just be comforting. But Miranda, what could possibly be our superpower at this point in our cycle? We all know women's intuition is the strongest thing, but what if I told you your intuition is at its strongest in your menstrual cycle or in your winter phase? This is the most powerful time for reflections. If you are looking for answers, you will find them in this phase. Now this blew my mind. This is actually the best time to make big decisions. This is specifically because your hormones have come down and you are more calm and you are seeing things more clearly than you ever will in these next 3 phases. So an invitation to journal and reflect. You might be surprised at what comes up. The next season we are moving into is spring, otherwise known as the follicular phase. This particular phase usually lasts from day 4 all the way to day 14 in your cycle. What is going on in the body? Your ovaries are growing follicles that mature into an egg. Now, as the follicles start to mature, they slowly start to produce estrogen. Because of that increase in estrogen, we are also experiencing an increase in energy. There's also a good increase of cortisol here too. This buildup of energy is a great time to socialize, a great time to create, and a really great time to be adventurous. Now in the animal kingdom, this is the best time to find a mate. So expect to be more flirtatious. But how exactly should we be nourishing our body during the spring phase? Well, this is the best time to try a new thing. So go on, boo, try that new class. And if you are like myself and you like a high intensity workout, now is your time to do them. In spring, we need to be fueling up for growth. So eat those complex carbs, those greens, that sweet potato, the legumes, vitamin B rich foods like eggs, leafy greens, and avocado. This will also help balance your mood. Now let's talk about the mind. At this point, you are probably bursting with new ideas. Things are just downloading out of nowhere. You need to make the most out of this creative energy. Learn something new, launch a course, start a new project. Our superpowers here are our social skills. They are reaching their peak. Put yourself out there, make a connection or two. May it be a friend or a potential partner. Now the next phase that we move into is my favorite, and it is ovulation. This is summer, and summer is freaking spicy and awesome. This usually happens at the midpoint of your cycle. So what exactly is going on in your body? Your estrogen levels peak right before ovulation as the follicle matures. When the egg is ready to be released, that LH hormone is gonna get that egg out, because in summer we are trying to get nasty. Our cervical mucus actually becomes wetter and thinner to help trap that sperm and carry it all the way up to the egg. During ovulation, you are officially starting to feel like a freak. Your libido is at an all-time high and you are feeling hot AF. Your communication is at its highest, and so is your confidence. But having high estrogen in this phase can leave you with some side effects, such as skin issues like blemishes and pimples. This is your time where you're most likely gonna break out. And for me, my key indicator is that breast tenderness. So bring in foods like broccoli, kale, garlic, onion. That's gonna help your liver process all of that estrogen. This is the best time to dive into pleasure, whether it be solo or whether it be partnered. Explore your fantasies, let your inner freak come out. Try new things. If you're trying to conceive, a lot of the time we can get wrapped up in that stress, in that urgency. Try and go easy on yourself and have fun with it. Now, what is our superpower during this phase besides wanting to get laid? This is actually the perfect time to negotiate. This is the time to collaborate, the perfect time to network. Use this time for client meetings, launches, and new offers. Your energy is absolutely magnetic right now. This is drawing people towards your light. And finally, our last phase is the luteal phase. This is autumn. So our first week is actually gonna be super high in progesterone, and our second week, it's gonna start to come down. Our body is saying there is no baby here. The follicle then breaks down, telling the lining of the womb that we no longer need it. Now, progesterone supports early pregnancy. So with no baby, that decreases our progesterone and drops our estrogen as well. The decrease in both of those hormones is gonna trigger the period. So obviously with our hormones going like this, we're gonna be experiencing a lot of emotions during this phase. This is the phase where you hear us talk about PMS symptoms. We're usually more sensitive, underconfident, maybe a little bit more anxious. During this time, we are no longer doing HIIT workouts. We are moving into that low impact flow. We also want to stay away from alcohol during this phase because, as we know, it is a depressant, and usually during this phase, some of us that experience depression will experience it in this phase right here. So we need to be eating and fueling our body with things that are good for our mental and our physical. So you're going to increase your omega-3s, but you're also going to be increasing your vegetables and your fruits. Now, when it comes to the mind, since our emotions are like this, we want to be doing things that feel good. So maybe it's hanging out with that friend and doing something chill. Maybe it's bundling up on the couch or in bed and reading a book. Do things that create a calm environment. This is the time where we start to slowly go inward and we wrap up those projects. Usually that first week, we're still really creative, so we can still get our work on. But by that second week, our brain starts tying up those loose ends. Our superpower here is definitely boundary setting. We're also good at talking straight and getting to the point. Organization and detailed tasks are our jam right now. All right, babies, that is it. That is all I have for you today. Remember that riding the flow of your cycle will help you better understand your body and connect with yourself a little bit more. Cheers.